Hello everybody, Missy Dela Cruz here. We are live with Sarah Greer with Bubbling Over Bakery, and you are right here on Fairview Live. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And can you start off by telling us a little bit about you?
Yes. So my name is Sarah Greer. I actually grew up here in Fairview, graduated from Fairview High School in 2012. I went on to UT Knoxville, graduated from there, got married. We spent some time in Georgia for my husband's job and just kind of, spread our wings a little bit. But Fairview was always the goal to come back home. Especially when you have kids. We got pregnant with our first daughter and came home in 2020. So, I'm here. Been here a long time. I have 4 little kids now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. We just had our last in February. He's almost a year old. He's actually napping downstairs. So, but yes. So I began. My goal has always just been to spend more time with my kids. I think anything I can do to make sure that I can, still provide some, financial support to the family, but our main goal is that someone's here with the kids all the time. And we make that work by, I'm a nurse. I work very, very part-time, but I started baking out of our home. So right after we had our 3rd baby, actually, kind of as a postpartum activity, I just started baking. I've always baked. I've always cooked. I grew up around livestock and that kind of lifestyle, working on farms, and that just overflowed into our family life. So, started baking right after our 3rd baby. I opened up Sarah's Sourdough. It was kind of a spur of the moment thing, really, just a way to be able to, again, stay home with the kids more. And then it's just kind of blossomed. It's just taken off here in town and in Nashville. I do some wholesale, some markets. And Sarah's Sourdough then changed to Bubbling Over Bakery on January 1 of this year. Just to help with the growth, honestly, we're kind of expanding product lines, moving away from not just sourdough. So I wanted something that showed that we were capable of more. And it's been just such a blessing. I can't believe how it's grown. I can't believe how much our family has been able to be supported by it. And the community has just been awesome. It's just all around just kind of an unbelievable blessing that we're here and we're able to fulfill that goal. I'm home with the kids all the time. They're at school right now, but for the most part, I'm here, they're here, and we're doing it all together as family.
I love that.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the evolution, because so you started off sourdough. So what does that look like today?
Yeah, so we did. Sourdough is the basis of everything we do. We're sticking with all of the loaves, all the sandwich breads, all the sourdough cinnamon rolls and cookies. But honestly, as trends have changed and things like that, I want to keep up. I want this to be something that, honestly, my children can do markets for me one day, pay for their first car by running the market. And so I wanted to move into something where we had more freedom to be a little bit more creative, again, to offer a larger product line. And it's fun, with Valentine's Day coming up, we've got some really cool Valentine's treats and things like that. I feel like there's more freedom to, again, expand that line, move away from just sourdough, but still maintain all of that. We're not changing any of that for any of my regulars. All the offerings are still going to be the same. There's just going to be more. We've got a little bit more freedom. The kids are getting a tiny bit older. Our oldest is 5 now, and she's in kindergarten. So it's like, I kind of feel like my load with just babies has changed. And so now I'm just putting that energy somewhere else. Yeah.
So it's really impressive because, sourdough I feel like has been something that's been trendy. And so to understand that not only was that the foundation, but also the evolution into these other lines. But you've been able to expand far past Fairview and into Nashville. So tell us about those partnerships. Like how were you able to really grow this into a business, not just, something that's more of a hobby?
Yeah, so I started at Fairview Farmers Market. I'm just kind of, some of it is just unpredictable sometimes. Who is going to, anyone can come anytime they want. And so I needed something a little bit more structured. And so I went into markets in Nashville. My biggest one that I did was 12 South, which is an incredible market. One of the best ran one in Nashville, I think. And we would do, bring $800 to $1,000 worth of bread and sell out every single week. And so that really propelled us into upscaling everything, being able to purchase equipment that supported that. And from there, I met other farmers. And like I said, I kind of know a lot of agriculturalists in the area because of my upbringing. And I know how to speak to a farmer and I understand where they're coming from. And so I could really connect with them. And that led to a couple cool opportunities. So College Grove, there's a kind of a market grocery store called Newberry Farms, and we actually wholesale to them every single Monday. So I will bring 40 to 50 loaves every Monday morning and drop it off there, and so they purchase from me and then they sell. I've done markets in Bellevue, Nashville, kind of toward that College Grove area. But once we had our fourth baby, I was like, I got to scale back the markets a little bit and focus more on the wholesale. It's more predictable. You know, I have a schedule for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, getting everything out the door. And I kind of needed that predictability with 4 little kids. And so, it's grown. I kind of look for a lot of opportunities, pop-ups, pickups. We do our porch pickups here in town about twice a month, and those have grown as well while that wholesale is growing. But it's just been a really interesting learning the business and learning how to run a business. I'm kind of just looking for any opportunities to wholesale, to support other business owners by doing maybe like a pop-up in their stores. We did one in Dixon before, working together with other growers and just looking for any opportunity to be a part of it, really.
I love that.
Yeah.
And now, are you a one-man show, or does the family get involved?
So my husband slices bread for me on Sunday nights. The kids, I've never let the girl, so my oldest is 5, and then my other daughter is 4, and they have just gotten to the point where like I can trust them to wash their hands well. So we scrub, and they will crack eggs for me now. Over Christmas, my 4-year-old cracked almost 100 eggs.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, seriously. And she did amazing, and she's so enthusiastic. I grew up with parents who ran a cafe, and then they also ran a cleaning company. So we just went to work with mom and dad every single day. And so I'm so excited to give that to my kids. Yeah. So the kids are working. They'll label bags. They can do that. Okay. One of my great friends, my neighbor, she'll come over and scoop cookies. We do about 300-400 at a time, and just repetitive work. She'll kind of come over, do that, label bags, help me cut dough for rolls. So kind of everywhere I can get some help, I appreciate it. For the most part, we have a really good system. My husband, like I said, helps on Sunday nights to slice the 30-ish loaves we do for Mooberry and package that. So, it's a lot of me. I'd say like 90% me, and then kind of outsourcing the other part. Yeah.
Now, do you have any options that are like gluten-free or?
I don't. Okay. I worry about gluten-free because if someone is truly like celiac, we have so much flour just in the air that can impact them. And so I don't trust, I can't do that.
Sure.
I want to do it right, and I can't, so I don't kind of delve into that area. I would love to. There is a baker in Dixon, Petal and Crumb. They just opened up a storefront there, and they have gluten-free sourdough that I always refer people to. They have it on hand like every day. So, yes, that's somebody that can do it well, and I just haven't. And I've heard that it's so sensitive. So right.
I was just curious about that. But other than, so talk to us about everything that you really offer as far as the different products.
Okay, awesome. So here, like options for people in Fairview, I do pickups twice a month, pretty much. You can follow my Instagram, find my hot plate, and they do a pre-order period, and then basically I'll bake everything and set it out on the porch. We have sourdough offerings, so our traditional crusty loaf, our soft sandwich bread, which is actually a better seller than like the original sourdough, which is always funny to me. Dinner rolls are huge; those are still sourdough; those will remain sourdough. I think I did about 35 dozen for Thanksgiving and about 45 dozen for Christmas. So those are really our big sellers during the holidays, and then it kind of levels off. Sourdough cinnamon rolls are a really big hit during the winter. Not as great during the summer. No one wants like a gooey cinnamon roll in the middle of the heat. Cookies are a huge seller. Those are still sourdough. Our non-sourdough offerings, we're doing brownies now. We do have cookie options that are not sourdough that are kind of coming out. Those are really fun. You can play with flavors a lot for the seasons and the holidays. Scones are really, really big. Those are another great seller. And those are also, you can put whatever you want in them and make them fun there too. So the non-sourdough offerings are growing. It just kind of, I always bake what I like, what I feel like making. So like the other day I saw, I think it was like a TikTok of a cherry coffee cake. And so I went straight to the kitchen. I was like, that sounds amazing. That's what I want to make. Now it's on the menu. Like I worked with some recipes, tweaked some things. I just bake what I like. Growing up here in town, everything closed by like 7, 8 o'clock. I always thought it'd be so great if there was just somewhere I could grab something sweet. I have a sweet tooth. And so now I've kind of been able to offer that. But anything that sounds good, I make. I'm always willing to hear other people's wants and things like that. But if I like it, I'll bake it. So that's kind of my thing there. If it's fun to make, I'll make it. If I like it, I'll make it too. So
I love that. I love that. And I also love the fact that you have been able to also open up your offerings to now teach other people.
Yes. Yeah.
So why don't you talk to us about that? Like, who are those classes for? How can people, stay on top?
So I actually was an extension agent for a little while when we lived in Georgia. So my job was basically to meet community needs through education. So I would do program development. I would teach classes. We did some composting classes. We had a pullet class where we taught about egg layers. Extension was where I was going. I ended up coming home and going to nursing school again, so I could spend more time with the kids. The classes are for everybody. Anyone who's interested. We are holding one on January 20th at Uncle Lenny's Cafe. That one's sold out within about 30 hours. So that tells me that there's a need, and I'm going to make it through this first class, get all the tweaks done, figure out everything, and then start offering them more frequently. So I'm really excited. If people follow along our Facebook page and Instagram, they can kind of see when those are coming. I've had 5 or 6 people reach out wanting to sign up for the original class. So I'm thinking about making like a wait list maybe. I should probably get on top of that right now while the getting's good. But yes, so classes for everybody. More are coming in the future. That's our plan once we kind of, like I said, get through this first one and figure out what I need to learn. So yes. So out of curiosity, if somebody is watching and they want to just stay on top of everything that's coming next. Yes.
You mentioned Facebook, Instagram. Are those the best ways to stay on top of it?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
So our Instagram is really where I'm most active. Everything kind of pulls over to Facebook.
Sure.
I need to be better about posting directly on Facebook, I know, but it's just easier. Instagram, I feel like. But on our Instagram, there's a link to our hot plate site. So that's our ordering platform. Cool. You can actually go on there, and it says don't miss a drop. You can click that, put your cell phone number in, and anytime my orders are about to open, it sends a text message to all my subscribers. So that's a really good way because some things do move fast. Yeah. I try not to put any limits on things, but like scones, I make a certain amount, and then they, for the month, and then they sell out quickly. And so getting that text, it has a link to the ordering site right when orders open. That's probably my best way to get an order in quickly.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so Instagram, Facebook, and that hot plate site.
Yeah, and we will definitely drop that information below in the comments, so you guys can definitely watch that. Now, I have one more question for you, and then I'm going to open it up to any questions or any statements that you might have. And that would be, so for somebody like me that is a business owner, and obviously I want to support other local business owners, would there be my clients in my home and you come teach a class there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, that sounds fantastic. And that's, I've done a pop-ups throughout town, even in Dixon, like I said. But partnering with me looks, I can do wholesale, obviously. I can do where, I set up, there's a Venmo code, if you have something in your storefront, I could just, have a shelf. Like I said, pop-ups, vending options, class options. I would love that, just to come in, teach a course, especially once I have it under my belt, once everything's settled, and I've been through it a couple of times, I would just love that. That's a great opportunity. Like I said, I'm from here. I love Fairview. I've always loved Fairview, and any way that I can be more a part of the community is, right up our alley.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah, I could talk to you all day long. So you're very easy to talk to.
Thank
and
you.
Just such a pleasure to get to know. Do you have any final thoughts or anything that you want to leave our audience with before we wrap today?
Just, our next pre-order opens up next week, I think on the 15th. So if you're interested, log on to our hot plate, get your cell phone number in there. It will text you, and you can just take a look at our menu, see what you like. I'm kind of that like COVID era, no contact kind of thing. So if that's something that makes people nervous, like come to our door and pick something up, I just set it out on the porch. Your name's on the bag. I'm around obviously, but people like that. I think people like coming up, saying hey real quick, grabbing their things and going. So
Yeah.
it's no stress there. But everything is really streamlined.
Yeah.
Put your order in, it sends you a text when to pick up. But yeah, it's a great little platform that's really done us really well. But for those community pickups that I really enjoy, feeding our community. It's not always, there's sugar in it,
Yeah.
but it's organic sugar.
I mean,
it helps, I think.
Yeah.
There's something in the mind that makes that feel better. But yeah, I love feeding people. I love taking care of people. And so that's kind of my way of doing it here in town.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it has been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for coming. It's been fun. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And thank you all for watching, and join us next week. We'll be right back here, same bad time, same bad channel, and we'll see you all then. Have a great day.